And here we go again. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Hi there. Welcome, everybody, to Cast Iron Wednesday. This is a tradition that a lot of YouTube channels, especially cooking channels, have had for the past several years now, where we do a cast iron video on Wednesdays, obviously. And it's really more of an excuse to have fun with cast iron, which is a subject that quite a few of us enjoy. And we've been doing this, as I mentioned, for several years now. So, welcome everybody to Cast Iron Wednesday here on YouTube. We've been doing this now for 2 years and about 8 months, believe it or not, and yet somehow I've managed to survive it. A lot of it has to do, of course, with the help of the folks who are kind enough to show up here on this channel every week. And I'm always very grateful to see a number of faces here, including ones who have been here regularly, like for Jim 44 or Jimmy Langford or Rick Stumbow. Hello, Rick Stumbow, and William Hurt, and hello, Val's Black Cats Rules. And hello, Jose Latias. You're usually here later, so it's nice to see you here, Jose. And a lot of familiar faces and some new names as well. And I'm especially glad when new people show up here. Hello, Jerry 1952, for instance. And hi to Corey Clark. And well, really, welcome to our, once again, to my kitchen, where I have spent the past several days, as mentioned in the in my last few videos and in the title of this video. I've been restoring vintage cast iron, specifically this time here, Jose Latias. I'm off work, so I get to tune in early today. Well, that's good. And hopefully you won't be witness to a disaster tonight because, again, I've been restoring vintage cast iron for the past few days, one particular piece of a vintage cast iron. And to those of you folks, you know how there are so many people who put out videos say, this is how I clean cast iron. This is how I season my cast iron. Well, believe me, if you have never restored and cleaned and seasoned one of these before, then you really don't know how difficult it can be to clean and season cast iron. Because yes, here it is, the Stover vintage cast iron waffle iron here. This is the one that's been starred in the last couple of short videos. This thing is probably about 100 years old, maybe more or so. It was made by the Stover Manufacturing Company of Freeport, Illinois. And this is about the only piece of cookware or hollowware, you might say, that they actually produced on a regular basis. They were much more known as a manufacturer of bicycle parts, and apparently they were pretty famous for that, in fact. But nonetheless, they produced quite a few of these waffle irons because they're actually not too hard to find in the vintage market, at least as far as waffle irons are concerned. Yeah, I mean, waffle irons themselves can be pretty rare. But yes, here it is. And hello as well to Papa Dan, too. So, the first thing I had better do is start heating this up so that we can get some waffles made. One thing I found out, unfortunately, is that my stove is not built right for a round piece of cast iron like this, and that I tried putting it on the flat of the stove here with the racks removed, and it simply would not fit right because of this, because of the way it's shaped here. This indentation in the stove here. So that means, like it or not, I have to actually sit it on top of the rack. And when I actually flip waffles, I'm definitely gonna have to do it two-handed here. So, nonetheless, no time like the present. Okay, and what I'm supposed to do is just heat this thing and flip it every couple of minutes or so until it gets to the right temperature. Somebody on the chat a few minutes ago mentioned that they had apparently restored one of these waffle irons with flaxseed oil, and the waffle stuck. Well, I'm not so sure it's because of the flaxseed oil. I mean, granted, we know flaxseed oil is not the best for seasoning cast iron, but I don't think it's stuck because of that. More likely, it's probably a temperature thing. And that's why I've been doing my research, or i.e., watching YouTube videos for the last couple of days, last several days now. And it what seems to be is we have to heat this thing up. We have to flip this every couple of minutes in order to get both sides good and hot. And apparently, this thing will be ready when the temperature reaches about 425 degrees on the outside. So until then, though, yeah, butter, baby. Not enough butter or too hot. Yes, exactly. So that's why I've got to do my best to try to keep track of this as well. This is going to be my first time using this cast iron waffle iron. So all I can do is, well, do my best here. And Paul Carter just finished cleaning a live bath and eat with Easy Beasy, a number 9 Griswold type top Dutch oven. Well, congratulations to that. Okay, but as this thing is heating up, and folks do remind me as well to continue flipping that waffle iron every couple of minutes. I've got my batter mostly finished. Here's the dry ingredients. It's really only necessary. I think I'll flip that iron again. It's really only necessary at this point to mix in the wet ingredients. And waffle batter is, pretty much the same for any one of the hundreds of waffle recipes out there. So, you got your basic flour mixed in with a little bit of sugar, a little bit of baking powder, and a little bit of salt. And to this, we are about to add 4 eggs and a stick of melted butter. And then I think I better start mixing it before I add in the buttermilk. And so let's get this going here. Hopefully, by the time this batter is ready, the iron will be hot enough that we'll be able to start making waffles right away, or at least I hope so. Um, Yeah, because as I mentioned, I've been watching videos. I posted a link a couple of days ago to a YouTube video that somebody did, especially about that Stover waffle iron. So it's given me some tips on how I might be able to successfully get some waffles out of that. One thing that concerned me is that the person pointed out that because the two petals on the waffle iron are actually different shapes. That means it might be, it's actually going to fit so well that I may only end up with thin waffles and not thick waffles. But, well, I guess we're going to have to see about that. Let me flip that waffle iron once again. And now we start adding the buttermilk, which always have to do it a little bit at a time. That's the trick to, as I've found out, to making a batter here. If we pour in all of the milk at once for science reasons, I forget the reasons why, but it actually works better if you pour it a little bit at a time. Apparently, apparently the batter will be able to spread out with the milk better again if we do it a little bit at a time. So, and that's good because this thing is pretty darn thick right now. Of course, I haven't used very much yet. See what I mean? I'm maybe almost halfway through. Let's see what it's like now. Above all else, I must learn to be patient. I may not be a Jedi, but I will still, patience I must learn. All right, which means just a little. Well, we're getting somewhere already. If I were to do it now, we wouldn't exactly have waffles, but uh, I just got to be patient. Okay, add a little bit more. I've got 4 cups of buttermilk, or curdle milk, I guess I could say. I use the old trick of mixing in a quarter cup of vinegar into 4 cups of milk because, like everything else these days, buttermilk unfortunately is expensive. And it's much less expensive to do that method and make a curdled milk. Well, this is actually starting to look good now. Still way too thick, but it's finally starting to look like a batter. I should probably flip the iron again. All right. Yeah, don't worry. I'll be turning the camera back to the waffle iron once the batter is done. Only because I think, yeah, this is a little bit more action, I guess you could say. Now, a little bit more milk. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I'm pretty much trusting the advice of my YouTube channels of my other cast iron cooks who I've seen, like Cast Iron Cookware and the Mudbrooker, who I understand just joined right now. And hello again to the Mudbrooker. It was a nice chat last week. I believe you've been making waffles in cast iron for several years, so you're one up on me. Um, going to do my best to, again, take all of your lessons to heart, which is why, again, I'm making sure I get the waffle iron hot enough, but hopefully not too hot. Flipping it every couple of minutes, which reminds me I should probably flip it yet again. Okay. And I do still have a little bit more buttermilk to mix in, although this is starting to look pretty good now. So does look like 4 cups is just about the right amount for this, pleased to say. Here we go. There we go. And I still have a little tiny bit left yet. Anyway, while I'm waiting here, let's see what else we have. Look, I told my sister hang it on the wall or she can use it to bake cakes. It sounds like I guess somebody must have found a cracked pan. As always, my condolences when that happens. Oh, yeah. It's a trap, Corey. That's what Admiral Akbar said. Okay, so far I don't think it's mixed in quite as much as I'd like. Well, again, I just have to remember to be patient more than anything else. So just keep stirring, just keep stirring. Oh, damn it. Always, always, always. Yeah, that's the other thing. I lined my stove top with foil as well before get setting up tonight because on one hand you could say, just in case I make a mess, but as far as I'm concerned, in my case, it's probably more like to be so that if I make too big of a mess, because I think, well, as you know, chaos reigns on this channel, and there's always seems to be a mess. All right, I think we are getting to about the right consistency here, and here's the last of the buttermilk too, or curdled milk if you prefer, which means I better flip that iron one more time. And we, just keep going, but we're probably at the right consistency. Yeah, I made sure to make a lot of batter because, well, that way, if I goof it up, there will be plenty of batter to try again. Besides, I understand you can freeze this stuff. But having said that, let's get back here. I love waffles. Yeah, I didn't realize how long it's been since I've had waffles until I got this. Oh yeah, one other thing, I guess. Let's flip it again. Oops. That's why I have to be careful, unfortunately. As I mentioned already, unfortunately, this stove is not quite the right for this kind of a shape of a waffle maker. So it's going to be a little awkward. Maybe I should actually move it more in this direction, in fact, so that my hand doesn't get in the way every time I flip this thing. Come on, what's going on now? Hold on one second. There we go. It's a little better. All right. So when I flip it carefully, it's going to have to be two-handed. And right now, I'm so glad I got one with a handle. let's check the temperature because, again, supposedly if this thing gets over 425, and it looks like we're getting just about to the right temperature now. This here says 422, maybe even up to 450, whereas the other side, all right. Oh yeah, and one other thing that I saw in this side here says about 413. I better turn it back and leave it on the other side for about just about a minute, and then I think we'll be ready. The other thing is that other stover waffle iron video suggested I actually turn this over to the bottom so that the two shapes here, the tiny cross shape is on the top, whereas the wider squares are on the bottom, because apparently there will be less chance of it sticking when it comes out that way. All right, American cheese is neither American nor cheese. No, I will disagree there. It does have milk in it, so yes, it does make cheese. And besides, there are a lot of people are nostalgic for good old American government cheese from the 1980s. So I am not going to say bad things about American cheese. Is garlic good for high blood pressure? I don't have an answer for that. Okay, well, having done that, then that means I think we are most likely ready to give it a shot. Um, where should okay? Then that means the last thing is I have this. I think I can move this big thing of batter over to here. And I just realized I need to dig up a half cup measuring cup because, yeah, I forgot that. Here's half a cup. Always forget something at the last moment. But with that, I think we are about ready. All right, that means I'll flip it over one more time so that the Stover logo is on the bottom. Ooh, definitely, it looks hot enough. All right, now got some canola oil and my basting. Oh, damn it! Off to a wonderful start here. Okay, did not expect that. Shit. All right, well, keep on going. That's all. Note to self: I guess I'm not going to be able to do it that way. All right. Okay. I've seen people do that, rest it with this open. I'm going to have to examine this. I mean, I did see that it all looked correct. It did not look like there were any cracks or any broken areas in it. Well, maybe it's just simply how it was manufactured. But nonetheless, the show must go on. Okay, let's keep on going. And anyway, if nothing else, I can consider that a lesson to keep in mind from now on. So let's do this. I considered getting okay, I probably shouldn't wait too long. I'll talk more after I put it in. And let's give it a shot, shall we? All right, based on what I saw, I'm going to try half a cup with sizzling, so I hope that's a good sign. Now let's put this on as fast as we can. There we go. Did it. All right. And what was I just saying? Oh, I forget already. Anyway, yeah, I'm losing my train of thought here. Sorry. Okay. I realize I gave credit to the wrong person for inspiring me to get a waffle maker. On the last video, I believe it said it was Louis J with cast iron cooking, and actually, I don't think he was the one who did the waffle iron. In fact, I believe it was Cooking with Bobby Joe who made her waffles in a waffle maker, and it was after seeing that yeah, I did kind of catch the bug, and I was determined to go and find a waffle iron of myself. How did anyone come up with waffles as a thing? Why not pancakes? Good question, actually. I'm not enough of a historian to know that. Other than the fact that they do look nice, that in itself makes me think this might be something that the elite do this right. I just realized I should have held that. Ooh, am I seeing fire? Probably some oil or something that dripped onto the burner. I should have used this to do that. Oh well, let's get this thing out of the way. This is canola oil, by the way. Maybe I'll put that over here. So the design looks fancy enough that it's possible that waffles may have been invented, although I'm guessing as something of an upper class food, something fancier than just simple pancakes, perhaps. Waffles are crispier. I don't doubt that they do have a different consistency as well. So, nonetheless, from here, it's really only a matter of waiting and maybe flipping this every so often. I know that with steam, with electric waffle makers, they say that it actually makes steam as the waffles are cooking. But I have to say, I'm not seeing any steam in this, unfortunately. Who came up with American cheese? Hard to say. I would honestly say, no kidding aside, look it up on Wikipedia. It would probably give you some more information. I think I'll flip it, and this time I will be sure to hold it two-handed. There we go. That's how to do it. No disaster that time. Waffles have more surface and texture. Oh, yeah. I mean, I realize there are a lot of really good things about waffles, not besides the fact that they look good too. Rocket caber sounds easy because I love buttermilk for baking just about everything and pancakes too. I've often considered waffles child's food. Well, hey, nothing wrong with child's food. I do remember waffles as I was young. In fact, I have very vague and not very clear memories of my grandmother, which when I was like, I couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 years old. This was in the early 1970s, using a waffle iron exactly like this. My very vague memory makes me think it had a cross on it, and it may very well have been a Griswold waffle iron, but unfortunately, I have no way to confirm that, only my very faulty memory. So we'll flip it one more time. I do say I am smelling something, so maybe it might be time to check this perhaps. For our weekly Georgia pecan waffle. Oh yeah, I've the first time I tried a pecan waffle was in fact, at Waffle House on one of my road trips down south, and I definitely enjoyed it. So I know people say fun things about Waffle House, but again, the experiences. I've only been to Waffle House like maybe about 2 or 3 times in my life. Okay, open that bad boy. Okay, let's do that. Let's get this plate over here, in fact, and see what we have. Oh, yeah. In fact, I think it's already getting burned. So, yes, you're right. I think we are about done. Let me get this out quickly as I can. Come on. Don't stick. This is the part that they were talking about here, where it comes to whether or not it sticks. And furthermore, this is that cross. Oh, it's working. Okay, be patient. Hold this thing tight. Come on. Come on. Uh-huh. And come on. Ha ha. Now the question is, did it burn? Oh, come on. Get this out of here. Looks like no, it didn't. In fact, it's very crispy. Ooh. And ouch. Yeah, I'm definitely doing it very, yeah. Not only is it, oh, done, I think I just barely avoided burning it. Well, they say the first one is always an experiment anyway. However, lo and behold, let me get this top back on here. Ouch. Oh, this is actually getting too hot. Okay, let me put this aside. In fact, I should probably flip it again because looks like the first waffle was actually a success, maybe a little too much so. It is very crispy. Okay, well then I will definitely have to remember that for the next one. All right, how does the temperature look here on the top? Here, the top says 430, 433. Bottom, on the other hand, I hope the bottom is not too much hotter. Ugh. Yeah, this is definitely going to take some practice, that's for sure. We look again on the bottom. Bottom only says 372, 381. So that's good. I can actually heat the bottom up a little. Oh, damn. Now it's getting hot. Okay. I'm going to have to get the other pot holder, here it is. All right. Really, I can see that making waffles is kind of a race against time, in fact. But hey, we got one to work. Hopefully, we'll just have to practice the next one. That's about all we can do. That came out too small. Yeah, I think you're right. I used a half cup, actually, maybe a little less than half a cup of the batter. And apparently, as you say, it seemed to come out too small. So maybe I might have to go for a little larger, maybe closer to 3/4 of a cup, perhaps. Lay some butter on that crispy. Let me dig that butter out of the fridge. In fact, I just realized while I melted one stick of butter, I should have taken another stick aside. Oh, but as usual, I did not think of it. There's the butter. All right. Let's get these going. Gotta watch myself because even though that only said about 370 or so, I realize that's gonna heat up pretty fast. This butter is hard too. Oh well. Anyway, that's a start. Phew. So, thank you for being present for my first cast iron waffle. Yay. All right, let's check this temperature again. Now the top here says 397. There we go. We'll do it like this. This side now says 483. Oh, good grief. I think I better turn this temperature down a little bit. In fact, I probably had the heat up too high. Probably heated it up too fast. Okay, so I've turned it down a little bit. It's like gumbo, but thicker. Curb the enthusiasm. I'm not sure if you're talking about waffles or another conversation. I'm sorry to say I'm not following every single comment because I've been concentrating on these waffles here. So we've done one. All I can do is keep going for the next one. I've used my waffle maker twice. First time was a disaster. Second time was a success. Well, if I were to stop now, it could be a success, but I want to keep going and do better. So yeah, really, the trick was, in fact, just that. It was really temperature control more than anything else. So again, to the gentleman, nuts, who had. Okay, I think we are just about right. I'm hoping I can do this again without it collapsing. I'll risk it. I don't know if I should, but let's do this as quickly as I can. Oh yeah, put that canola oil over here. A little bit here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and attempt number 2. Now, based on what you said, I'm going to spread a little bit more around the edge this time and see what happens. If it overflows, then it overflows. Let's bring this down carefully. There we go. And it looks like it is actually overflowing. That's all right. That's really not. Oh, damn it. On the other hand, this is getting hot. On the other hand, that's not really a major concern. There we go. As long as I don't accidentally open it up, that is. Hold this down. There. Got it. Haha. Phew. Yeah, because I was watching cast iron cookware where he had overflow on almost every waffle, and yet it still turned out successful. All right, I think my failure with my cast iron waffle maker was the temperature was too high. There is always that. In fact, I'm turning the temperature down on mine just a tad as well, so that it's pretty low at this point. I'm wondering something. Spam. Are we having spam in here? I'm not sure I'm seeing anything. Oh, entry $20 entry fee. I do see a $20 up here. Did somebody actually donate $20? I missed that, and I very much apologize there. There it is, double A and double A. That's what he meant. He said entry fee, but he actually apparently donated $20. Well, thank you very, very much. I'm really not asking for donations, but thank you so much. I very, very much appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to make a living off of this YouTube channel. I've said many times before, I consider this to be a hobby, and donations like that are definitely a bonus. It's not something I'm asking for, but once again, thank you so much. All right, overflow is okay. I found that a bit of cooking spray and heat control will do a job of producing great waffles that do not stick. Yeah, this first one almost stuck. I think I overcooked it a little bit, in fact. So I'm just keeping an eye on this one. Yeah, Joe Brown. Yes, welcome to my channel. This is what it's like when I'm dumb enough to actually do cooking live. Without any editing or any control or anything like that. And this is why most of those other cooking channels won't do live cooking. As you'll never see Joshua Wiseman doing a live cooking show for that reason, because so many things can happen. And so, yeah, exactly. Yes, Val's Black Cat rules. That's one of my mantras that I use quite often. I like to say, in cooking, there are a few disasters and many learning experiences. Fortunately, you can eat the learning experiences. Exactly. Eat the evidence. Yeah, I can see after this one, I am going to have to scrape this stuff off, which I will certainly do. But I am glad I laid foil down on this thing as well, too. All right. It's probably time to flip it again. So it looks like this is how we do it. There we go. Much better. Starting to get the hang of that. We are here because we enjoy. Well, yeah. I mean, I like, well, above all else, as I've said enough times, I do this really, especially the live, because it's a lot of fun. And thank you very much. Thank you very much for enjoying it. So, what's everyone's favorite way to eat spam? Fried. I would definitely say that. Yeah, so far, so good, I guess. All I can do is wait until it's time to test it and open it up, and I'm getting betting we're probably getting close to that time already. From what I saw, I think I should probably flip it over onto the bottom again and try lifting the cross design on the top. Fried crispy edges. I'll flip it again. Will do. Thank you so much. There we go. There we go. Starting to get the hang of that, though. I like that. But so yes, this is actually a cast iron waffle iron, and yeah, this thing was a real female dog to restore. That's for sure. Even though I got it in great condition, I only had to keep it in the lye bath for like about a day or so. After that point, though, I ran each piece through electrolysis for about 8 hours. So it took almost 24 hours in the E tank to actually get this thing clean. And then after that, I seasoned it 3 times. So I'm thinking of making cooking videos again. Well, why not? I'd say go ahead and do it. I mean, they're a lot of fun. YouTube and everybody else seems to have changed their algorithm nonetheless. That's one thing I've noticed. In that the views on my videos seem to be going down, even though my subscriber count is going up. So, well, I'm can't answer that. I'm not an expert on YouTube algorithms. Okay, I think we're probably at the point because I'm starting to smell it. Now, this time again, I've turned it down so that the cross design is on the top. Hopefully, this one will be easier to flip. And uh-oh. Okay. All right, so it's stuck to the top. Yeah, definitely that cross design is really fun. Here, let me do it this way. There we go. Um, Let me see. Other than the edge sticking a little bit, this actually looks pretty good. Let me see if I can't try to get it off of here. In fact, I think I'll even turn off the heat for a moment, move this aside, and do my best to get this thing onto the plate. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can do this right. Come on. I think I better change my hands here. I might have better luck with this hand. All right. Okay. Here we go. So I can see that this is probably how every waffle is going to turn out. And it's because, again, of that cross design. Uh-oh. I'm hoping I didn't undercook it because I'm not sure, but I think it might be sticking. Come on. Come on, you know what. Aha. Okay. Just got to be patient. Looks like it may very well work. Come on. Let's do this right. How am I going to do this? Let's do this. Uh-huh. Show you that part again. And I managed to lift half of it. Just don't want the rest of it to stick. Okay, what we have right now. Yeah, waffle making is definitely an adventure. I will say that. See, that part, half of it has come out. All right. 1, 2. Come on. Do it right. It's almost out. Let's try it like this. There we go. Yeah, I do believe it is cooked. It's that this cross design, almost there. Just have patience. Looks like there may be a little bit of sticking, but not too much. All right. Well, almost. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if I could still get this out because this still looks like it's done. I probably didn't grease this part enough. There we go, more or less. All right. So that one was actually about 85% successful. And I don't think I'm exaggerating. So that was a Griswold, wouldn't stick. Yeah, because of the design, I know. Does this mean I'm going to regret my investment in this waffle iron? Well, I'm not sure yet. Hey, these parts here are not burned. So on the whole, I still don't think it's doing too badly. And besides, I did really fill this one up. However, at this point, let's get this out. And there we go. And finally, besides, that was only 2 waffles. Now I just have to get rid of this stuff on the side. Come on. There we go. All right, good enough. All right. Well, actually, more or less, we have 2 waffles so far. Wow. Okay, I guess I had better rebuild this and start heating it up for number 3. Yeah. Well, this is so far. I will say so far it's been successful. I mean, despite the mess. In fact, I'm going to eat this part. Mm. Oh yeah, it's a waffle, all right. That's for sure. Despite the fact that it's a little messy, so far we've had two successful waffles. So I don't think we're doing too badly here. All right. Now that means time to turn the heat back on. Low heat, that is. And heat it up to number 3. This side here says 209. So I can see it's going to be a while. Whew. Okay. Oh, I'm not sure about sarcastic. I don't know what you were saying. Sorry, as I said, I've been kind of concentrating on the waffles here this evening. I'm afraid I haven't been able to get heavily involved in the conversation, and I apologize for that. Nonetheless, oh yeah, let me see. By the way, it was again, I think cast iron cookware, Steve Strawn. I believe it was his video where he used this pointy fork here to help get the waffle out of his waffle iron, and I think this has helped. Yeah, this is the nice thing is this is the very first chance I've had to use this thing. Here, let me show you this thing. What is this? It's another flea market find, and in fact, I've had it in my kitchen for several years now. At a flea market, I came across this thing for $2. A long, heavy, I think it's actually aluminum fork, and I think it's like a barbecue, from a barbecue set or something. But what I remember is it had like a $2 price tag on it, and I noticed the logo. There's a logo on the front, if you can read it, that says Androck 1952. So if this is accurate, this thing is actually, it's vintage. It's like from the 1950s. So for $2, yeah, I definitely wanted to grab this thing. And now I've actually had my first chance to use it. So I am quite happy with that. Hey. All right. C dubs. Bump bump. He means it, not Ricky. Okay. Hope everything's going okay in the chat, folks. Again, I apologize for not being able to have much of a conversation here. Again, I've been concentrating heavily on these waffles. Use some spray oil to cover evenly. I considered getting spray oil, and I decided against it because this is an open flame on here, and you know how how sprays are flammable. So I'm really did not want to take that kind of a risk, unfortunately, which is why I'm doing it the hard way and basically using my basting brush and some canola oil. Anyway, sprays are just canola oil, so that's really not much of a difference. Okay, well, one thing I'm doing is learning how to flip this two-handed with two of these. There we go. All right, let's see what the top says right now. Top here only says 300, and yet this is the one I've been heating over the fire, over the flame. So, okay, turn that up very slightly. Okay, my grandson's moving to Florida. Gave him 3 cast iron pans for his apartment down there. Well, congratulations, Alma. Good luck on the move to Florida. I hope things go well down there. What am I hearing? I'm thinking it might be the batter on the pan on the waffles need more oil. Need more oil in the batter. Hmm. You may have to make a few dozen of these. Oh, it's a meat fork. Okay. Well, thank you very much for telling me that. All right. Yeah, carving fork, I believe. It's a meat fork. Yeah. Okay. Well, I suppose it's possible. I could actually mix some vegetable oil in that batter, and I may have to consider that for the next time. This time, I just used your typical waffle mix. Similar to what you see on the King Arthur flour website. So there's still plenty of this left, fortunately, and that's good. As I mentioned, I made sure to make too much batter so that If there was any problem with these waffles, I'd be able to try again. Anyway, let's get back to this view here. There we go. And now use both of these pot holders and we'll flip it one more time. Well, that's good. Actually, this is giving me a chance to relax after all that excitement. It still only says 321. Okay, what am I hearing? I keep hearing like a popping sound. I keep thinking it's probably the gas burner may have a little piece of the batter on it. So, seems more likely there. Anyway, evening, folks. Hello, Handsome Stone. I have a couple of waffle irons waiting to be seasoned. Well, best of luck with that. Did you add vanilla extract? Um, you know, nuts. I forgot the vanilla extract. Okay, I better add it in right now, in fact. Thank you for reminding me. I can't believe I forgot that. Well, actually, it's because I forgot to put out the vanilla extract. So, let's take care of that right now. There we go. Thank you very much for reminding me of that. And who knows, maybe this will actually affect the consistency of the waffle batter, perhaps. All right. It's homemade vanilla extract, so it's definitely mixing in. No, I can definitely smell it as I mix it in. I would have to say it's probably more potent than store bought stuff, and that's my intent. All right, back to this. Let's flip it one more time. So I'm definitely using more of a two-handed flip here. There we go. Getting good at that at least. Let's see, right now on the top here, it says 416. Okay, we are getting close. Maybe another couple minutes and we will get back to the waffles again. Will you freeze the extra waffles? Um, with any luck, I'll be able to eat them all by, oh, I don't know, Saturday or so, I hope. If nothing else, it'll make the next waffle tasty. Oil in a manual spray bottle works for me. Well, of course, I did not think of that. Yeah, I'm going to have to pick up a spray bottle. I know they're cheap, but I just simply have not thought of that. My waffles will be black on the outside and raw in the middle. Well, again, here what I'm doing again, Huey Brian, I'm doing my best at temperature control. It sounds like most likely that's probably what happened was the waffle iron was simply too hot. So it did exactly what you said. It burned the outside and was raw on the inside. Besides, my first waffle was almost burned as well. This second one turned out a little better. I always preheat my waffle iron 10 minutes each side before I start, otherwise I stick. Yes, exactly. And that is what we've done so far. And on the whole, despite the chaos as usual, it's been fairly successful. So, what do we have for temperature now? We are at 425. Okay, I still want to give it about another minute. Oh, I was just joking around, but I've had bad luck with waffle irons. Well, yeah, as I've found, it does take. Now, so far, there's nothing in here. These are not. This is still empty. I'm still heating it up, Cake Clock. There's nothing in here yet. Although, from the looks of it, in about a minute or so, we will be adding more batter. Well, thank you very much, Jimmy Langford. Yeah, as you can see, it's. I shouldn't say stressing me out, but it's definitely taking a lot of attention and careful, I guess, watching over this and management of this to have gotten so far. But the results so far have been pretty good. All right, one more time. Oh, oh yeah. See that smoke there? I think we're probably getting close to it at this point. Yeah, this one here says about 4:30 or so. Okay, so in just a few seconds or so, I will flip it again. And then we will go for waffle number 3. And I think I'll eat a couple more of these crumbs here. Nom, 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 nom. Focus, focus, focus. Yes, exactly. This is why I apologize. But again, feel free to keep your conversations and comments going. I've never minded Mystery Science Theater sarcastic comments because quite usually I deserve them. I'm just doing my best. And here we go again. All right. Again, I put it with the logo on the bottom. Let's carefully lift this up in a manner so that it doesn't fall. There we go. And one more time, we do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. May actually have to get a little canola oil because I accidentally spilled it. Once this is in, I will, well, it seems to be enough to actually coat this thing. So far, so good. All right. In fact, let me see if I can get a bit of a higher. There we go. Okay. At the same time, speed is important. And definitely this cross design is making it questionable. And I'm betting that if you were to come across, oh, don't talk too much. Let's just concentrate. And let's go again. And since we had some okay luck on the outside, let's do that again. There we go. I'll talk in a minute. Put this down. There. Haha. Okay. Anyway, as mentioned already, this is the Stover waffle iron has two designs. One is the standard square pattern on one side. On the other side is a cross pattern, a crisscross pattern. This is so that the two halves will fit together better. But as you've seen already, it looks like the crisscross pattern has a problem of its own in that it tends to make the waffle stick on that side. So that is something to consider. Hey, this time this thing is steaming. I don't believe it was happening the last time. I don't think it's because just because I added the vanilla extract. But anyway, that's a good sign because supposedly when it stops steaming, that's when you know it's getting close to done. Also, it does not seem to have spilled over. So I may have happened to have stumbled across the right amount of batter this time, which I guess would have to be about 3/4. Hubby is listening. He loves the shout outs. Hello, Val's Black Cats Rules. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Rick Stumbow. Yeah, I know. I mean, if I sound nervous, that's just how I am. As you said, it looks like things are going pretty well. So I just have to keep concentrating on this. But as I said, it certainly could be worse. Meanwhile, at this point, I think it's probably congealed enough to do the first flip. So that means I give this a good grip and flip away. Haha. There we go. I'm definitely getting the hang of that flipping at least. I will say that much. What if you did the cross side first? Might give it extra time for it to cook. I will consider that with the next and probably the last waffle. I've been basing this so far on that other Stover waffle iron video that somebody did a few years ago, and they were very detailed with it. And they said that because the cross side tended to stick, he always put the cross side up. But okay, maybe for the last one, I think I will consider it because, hey, if it sticks, well, it sticks. And anyway, it's going to be the last one. So we'll give it a try. All right. Thank you for the suggestion. I was cooking ribs and potatoes on top of the stove and two hamburgers in the oven, seasoning a Martin 8 skillet and a Martin 10 Dutch oven. Wow, it sounds like you've got yourself quite a collection there. It's steaming now. Yes, it definitely is. So I'm hoping that things are going good here. Um, it's pretty much the same thing as when you make pancakes or waffles. You know, it's like you always the first one is really a test waffle, an experiment to help you get the hang of it. Of course, so far I've only done two, But like right now, things have been going pretty good. Hello, Cynthia Wesley as well. So, um, hey, you can eat the ribs and potatoes. Just send me the two hamburgers. When flipping second round, you could attempt to loosen the top, then flip and loosen the other side before they're done. I'm not quite sure what you mean, but I guess I'm going to have to try and see. Your batter might be a bit too thick. I've noticed that a looser batter is better at producing crunchy waffles. You may be right there as well. So, of course, again, I added a little bit more liquid with that vanilla extract. Maybe that'll help. I think I should probably flip it again. All right. Well, at least, as I said, at least I'm getting better at this part. There we go. Of course, with oh, I better turn this heat down. I think I'm already starting to smell it, and I don't want it to burn, so I've just turned the heat down here. Okay, phew. Nonetheless, this is definitely an adventure. This is not a set it and forget it type of thing. You know, one reason why people love cooking steak in cast iron is because it's so easy. You put the steak in the pan, you wait a couple of minutes, you flip, you wait a couple of minutes, and you flip. Here, as you can see, I've been constantly monitoring this thing. But on the other hand, well, baking, of course, is more tricky than just simply searing a steak. There's certainly no denying that. I always peek at mine. Pancakes have medium batter and waffles have thinner. Um, well, let's take a okay, give me a few seconds. Let's take a look at the batter right now. This I'm hoping this is not too thick. I'd say it might actually be good. I think maybe indeed that vanilla extract may have made a difference. Again, just that much more liquid, or at least I hope so. And now that I've said that, let's flip it again. There you go. Well, that part at least. Hey, hi, Alma and Val. Beating my face. Yes, take it out. It stopped steaming. You think so? Already? Well, okay. Right now, though, let me see. At this moment, the cross is on the bottom. May I suggest, do you want me to open it up with the cross on the bottom or the cross on the top? Take it out. It stopped steaming. Okay. Well, all I can do is lift it and we'll see what happened. We'll see what happens. Let's do this right. Come on. And the results now. Oh, oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Definitely. I better get this out immediately. Okay. Um, let's do this right. In fact, let's turn off the heat. Put this down so it doesn't collapse. And let's try to get this out as best as we can. All right. Here we go again. Aha! Oh, haha! There we go. Let me put this down. Let's see what the bottom was like. Oh, I think we just got it. Hey, there we go. Whoops, it kind of broke now, but hey, whoop, careful, don't want to drop the plate either. But that one was probably the most successful yet. The top, very, very slightly scorched. But you were right. Thank you for suggesting that. So far, so good. Which means we can get down to the last one, I think. Now, again, based on your suggestion, I will do as you say. I will heat the last one and leave the cross pattern on the bottom when I add the batter, just to see what happened. But yeah, so far we've actually got three pretty successful waffles. They're not absolutely restaurant quality waffles, but they're not burnt and they're not stuck. They seem to be completely cooked. I gotta get that heat back on again. So far it's been a success. And yes, I think your advice, folks, is definitely helping. So I can only thank you so much for that. Whew, 9 o'clock already. Wow. All right. we're getting down to the last one. Reheat this for a couple of minutes. Yeah, this top here only says 266, 2 or so. So we will be getting down to a crumb cake. I can never pronounce that. Is it crumb cake or crumb kaki? I hope it's not crumb kaki. I just realized what I just said. I'm guessing it's crumb cake. All right, yeah, I'm probably not going to live that one down. Butter that bad boy up. It's not hot enough yet, I have to say, Alma. Again, I'm basing it when the top gets to about 425. That's when I've been putting in the batter. So this thing has a way to heat yet. We're only at about 350 here on that part. I like to eat almost anything. I'm not really a picky eater, except I don't like calamari and have had a bad experience with lobster. I'm okay with what I'm a New Englander, and yet I'm not absolutely crazy about lobster either. I don't mind it. I've liked lobster. Calamari, I have also not had that much luck with. So yeah, I'm not really much of a seafood person. I have very basic fish and not much more than that. I love swordfish. I will say that. Oh man, just realized this moment. It's been years since I've had swordfish. Decades, maybe? Ah, I'm going to have to make swordfish. Okay. Because, yeah, I did love swordfish. My grandmother used to make swordfish every once in a while, and I remember she'd sear it up and you put lemon juice on it. Anyway, okay, thanks for sharing. Well, yeah, Papa Dan. What can I say? As I mentioned before, I was struck with the urge to get a waffle iron, and I've said before, I do not want my pieces to be display pieces. I want them to be users. And I'm definitely learning stuff tonight. I will also say that. I think it's about time to flip this thing again. Like I'm learning, for instance, how to flip this thing like that. Okay. Huh. The more you cook them, the better they get, and the pan gets better. Yes, exactly. So all I can do is keep on using it. I mean, I did pay for this waffle iron, so I can't really abandon it after just one single use. And besides, despite the difficulty, the waffles have come out. So I'm suspecting it probably would be easier to make them in a Griswold or even a Wagner waffle iron, one that doesn't have that cross logo on it. So who knows? Maybe I can, if I come across another waffle iron dirt cheap by some miracle, I may consider it. Either way, so far I'm not regretting this. And based on this, I guess if I were to choose a nickname for this waffle iron, I'd probably call it Foo. And those folks who know Foo, you probably know why I would call it Foo. All right. Anyone else? Who made their bases that had Japan? What? Um, Bases? Do you mean waffle irons, or do you just mean cast iron in general? I have seen some made in Japan cast iron pans, if that's what you're referring to. All right, let's see how we're doing here at this point. I'm thinking probably, yeah, 413, 418. Okay, give it about another minute or so. We'll flip it, and then I think we'll be ready to start the last waffle. Tasting history is fun. Food Wishes had great recipes. Yeah, Food Wishes was one of the first YouTube channels I started following to learn how to cook, and I learned a lot from Food Wishes. That and of course Alton Brown and Good Eats. Those have been a lot of my cooking education. So Chef John, yeah, he definitely deserves a lot of credit for that. I would call your waffle iron sticky. Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, it has been a battle to get every waffle out. I will not disagree there. All right, I think we are at about this time. And as you say, I'm going to set it now so that, careful, so that the cross design is on the bottom and we will see what happens. If the last one sticks, well, then when it sticks. We've got 3 reasonably successful waffles, so I have very little to complain about. All right, maybe heat it for just a few more seconds, and let's get the rest of this canola. And where did my basting brush go? There it is. Okay. All right. Which means, once again, time to have some fun. Do this right. There we go. All right. It means one last time. All right. Likewise, up here. 2, 3. Come on. Come on. Let's get just a little bit more of this. There we go. I think we're good. Okay. Means here we go. Here's where I start to get cocky. But if we're going to do it, we'll go all the way. How about that? There we go. And once again, we will carefully place this down. And we're in. All right. Oops, this one's spilling over again. That's okay. I am not seeing steam, though, unfortunately. On the other hand, it's only just started, so maybe I should not panic. Seems to behave like a pizzelle maker I had that's electric. More you make them, that gets easier and more consistent. Oh, now I'm starting to see some steam, so that's good. Okay, yeah, me too. It was started volcano. Shit. Yes. Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. That's probably why it's designed that way, with this rim around the side to help catch some of the overflow. Again, I'm not too worried about it. Oh, yeah. Now I'm definitely seeing some steam. This time it's coming out from here. So just going to have to keep an eye on that. On the other hand, in just a few seconds or so, I will flip it again. Japanning is a technique for enameling cast iron tools. Oh, okay. I did not know that. Just had thunderstorm buildup. Well, okay. All right. Well, best of luck, Huey. Okay. I'd say we're probably about ready to flip it. So there we go. That flip was easy, at least. All right. Turn the heat down a little bit. Now it's really just a matter of playing the waiting game more than anything else. What recipe did you use for your waffles? To be absolutely honest, I based it more on the recipe that Stephen Strong used on his cast iron cookware. He used on his cast iron waffle recipe. He used, but he put blueberries in his waffles, and I did not. But so far, it's turned out okay. Maybe that's why I forgot the vanilla extract. No, I believe he did include vanilla extract. I just simply forgot. I can't blame anything. I'm definitely seeing a little bit of steam here, and I don't think that's burning. So just got to keep an eye on that. Love blueberries. Well, maybe the next time I do this, I might experiment with blueberries or strawberries. I mean, after all, this was my first time doing a cast iron waffle maker, so I just needed to, I just made a very basic waffle recipe. All right. But things are looking pretty good at this point. Not sure if that might actually be a little bit of burning, but it's not coming from the waffle iron. I think it's coming from the overflow. So we will just, well, blueberries, but they will stick. Yes, that's true. Well, all I can do is experiment and keep on trying. Let's flip it again. Okay. My thought would be probably about 2 more flips, and then hopefully we will be done. At least I hope so. And thank you very much, Val's Black Cat's Roll again. Yeah, mine don't stick. Well, mine have been doing pretty good. Have you seen Teach a Man to Fish? Actually, I may have missed his channel. I'll have to take another look at his. Still, we haven't done too bad so far. What did you use for leavening agent? I used baking powder. This is a very simple recipe. I just used some flour, salt, baking powder, some sugar, and I think that was about it for the dry ingredients. Then your wet ingredients were eggs, um, buttermilk, and there was one other thing, the vanilla extract. Oh yeah, and of course melted butter. So never made waffles, but I made pancakes, and sometimes when I put on blueberries, they stick. Well, there is that. So all right, let's very quickly do one more flip, and then the last flip. I'm thinking we will probably be done. Chocolate chips burn. Yes, that's true. It definitely is going to take some experience before I can do chocolate chips in this thing. Well, thank you very much, Huey. All I can say is I'm doing my best. um, and anyway, I've already said, even if this last one sticks, we've got 3 successful waffles. So we have very, very little to complain about. And thank you, everybody, as well, for hanging on here. Quite a few viewers here, even an hour and 10 minutes into this. So thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for hanging around. It's going to be sunny tomorrow. We have a chance for rain Friday. Yeah. Yesterday morning, it got down again to about like freezing, and there were a few snowflakes coming down. Whereas by Friday, we're going to get to 85 degrees. Huh. These temperature differences are murder here in New York. But I can't really complain. It's not really that much different from New England. But with that, I'd have to say, in fact, I'm going to turn off the fire now. We are most likely going to be done. Are you going to branch out into Abel Skeevers next? Oh, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Who knows? I can only say I do these things when I get the urge to. It's like I never know what my next project is going to be. It's pretty much I end up getting the urge to do something and then something else and then something else. um, but well, I've enjoyed it that way. That's what, at least, and if nothing else, it's given me the chance to try something different each time. Well, let's see what happens, folks. Either it's going to work or it's not. Ooh, I have to say, well, at least the top anyway looks like the best one so far. All right. Let me take this off so that it doesn't collapse. And here's the question once again. How well will it be to get this out? But yeah, look at this one. Um, uh-huh. Get this, folks. Get this. Look at that. Ha The last one turned out to be the best. Nice. In fact, gotta see what the underside of that waffle is like. A little bit dark, but nowhere near burned at all. Yeah, definitely. It's like each one improved. The last one was definitely the best, and it's all really thanks to your advice, folks. Oh, I could probably make a burger in that, or fried chicken and waffles. Get the butter and syrup right now. You better believe it. Gonna be up all night. Well, unfortunately, as I say every time, it's a work night, so I am not going to be up all night with these waffles, and I've got a mess to clean up. However, there we go. That means now, indeed, we get to enjoy the fruits of our labors, or the waffles of our labors. But exactly as you say, here's some butter. I am definitely looking forward to enjoying this. Yeah, no question about that. Let's put some butter in here. Ugh, great. Spread some butter over the top and a little bit more. God damn it. All right. And a little bit more underneath. And now, probably the most important part. Maple syrup. Being a born and bred New Englander means that there is no such thing as artificial maple syrup for me. It's got to be the real stuff or no. Maybe a different kind of syrup like golden syrup, but no. As nice, I mean, yes, Aunt Jemima's tastes okay, but no, I am not going to settle for artificial syrup. All right, but there we go. That should be plenty. Oh, and we did it. And I say we because really, thanks to your advice, folks, we've got some successful waffles. Some of these live videos, the end results of the cooking have not been so great. Here, I definitely have to thank you all for your help and for your advice, because lo and behold, we have waffles. I'm sure Donkey from Shrek would be proud. I'm making waffles. Wow. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. Rewarming butter in a cast iron pan. We could certainly do that too. Okay. But anyway, well, what can I say, folks? Now that we've done that, let's get one more shot of the cast iron. And that, of course, is the Stover cast iron waffle maker. Now, I will be absolutely honest. I bet this experience tonight has probably turned some people off to the Stover waffle maker, especially because of this crisscross design here. Because one more time, these two sides are not identical, and they were designed that way. And yet, we actually had four successful waffles. And I'm a novice waffle maker, no less. So I can't really complain that much. It might be easier, admittedly, to make waffles in a waffle iron where both sides were the same. Both sides have a square pattern, like the Griswold, for instance, or the Wagner. This probably, I'm not trying to boast, but I'm betting that with this, it probably was a little more difficult to make these waffles than it would have been with a standard waffle maker. So, even though I'm not trying to boast, I'm still quite happy with how these waffles turned out. And anyway, it does show that this waffle maker does work. Again, those waffles were successful. One of them stuck very slightly, but on the whole, they have turned out very, very good. So there we go. I would still suspect that given a choice, people will probably take the Wagner or the Griswold waffle iron as opposed to the Stover. Nonetheless, at least this is helping me to stand out. So, in the words of good old Smoky Stover, Notary Sojak. All right. Yeah, great. Yeah, because I've never made one. Well, Debbie, the only thing I can say is give it a try. If you're worried about this, and besides, cast iron waffle makers can be expensive. They have those cheap waffle makers now at like Walmart or the ones that are like about 15 bucks or so. If you want, you could invest in one of those and play around with it and have some fun making waffles, because they are non-stick, and that does make it easier. There's no denying that, to make waffles. So I mean, if you want to do it that way, you could do it that way. You could take the plunge like I did tonight, but either way, it's all up to you. I have said many times, and I will continue saying to everybody, I advise everybody to try new things. Go out of your way and try something new. I really enjoyed doing that, and tonight is only one of those examples of that. I mean, really, it's like, being safe is fine, especially on a work night where you've got a big family to feed. You don't really want to do something experimental, but every once in a while, take a chance, try something new, and see how it turns out, because the results, well, you may end up with something wonderful. It's certainly possible. I mean, if someone like me could make a dish like this, then you could do it. That's the best I could say. I mean, I know you hear that from a lot of people, but I've said enough times. I'm not a professional chef. I'm an amateur cook. I'm completely self-taught this, and I've done all this myself. And I did all this myself with your help, folks. I mean, again, I could not have done this without your advice. So thank you very much for that. I can't for those damn hot dog rolls. Oh, yeah, nothing you did wrong. Yeah, well, I get. Well, thank you very much, Cynthia. I can only say, yeah, these were very successful. So I will be proud of that. I will not be ashamed to say that. Yeah, that I am quite happy with that, with how those waffles turned out. And thank you very much for all of your help with that. All right, but yeah, having said all that, of course, we are getting into that time, and besides, I've got to eat myself some waffles. So, but anyway, I need to make a waffle. Never have I made one. Okay, but I can make everything else. Well, like I said, if you want, just go and get yourself a cheap Walmart waffle maker and experiment with it that way. Have fun with your kids doing it that way. But it really wasn't that hard. It did take some observation, and I'm just glad how it all turned out. Okay, I can keep going on and on about that, but really, that's we've seen the results, and I'm just happy that it all turned out this well. So I can only thank everybody though for watching, and thank you all for your advice and for your help and for your inspiration, and especially for being here. I say this every week because I mean it every week. Having you folks on this channel is really what makes these live videos so much fun. Doing this myself would not have been anywhere as exciting and entertaining and fun for me as well as for you. And I can only thank everybody for doing that. And that's why I'm very happy to keep doing these videos every week. And next week, well, we can only see how it all turns out again. I don't even know what I'm going to be doing next week, but we'll figure something out. So thank you once again. And yes, and there's Louis live tomorrow. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Brian Roddy, and hello, Chris McGee, and good night, and Clico, and all the regulars who are here, and especially new folks who've shown up. So thank you very much for a good time tonight, because this was a lot of fun. So everybody relax now. I've got to have some waffles, and I've got a mess to clean up, and we will do it all over again. So, as I like to say every time, with a quote from 2001. See you next Wednesday.